India is known for its secularity and the democracy all over the world. In fact, several countries of late are looking up to India for its vibrant democracy and the true secularism. What is happening of late in the last 18 months is little disturbing. And people like us, we request the people at the helm of the affairs may arrest this kind of trend so that whatever the name that India has in the world would be continued. First it started with the Garvapsi. Already India has more than 100 crores of Hindus who are extremely poor, and thousands of temples are in a very dilapidated condition where pujas and archanas are not being done. And if really those who are interested in the Hindu religion either to protect it, instead of getting into this kind of controversy, they may really focus on the renovation of temples, revival of pujas and archanas in temples. I want to share here my personal experience when I was an IAS officer in Tamil Nadu. Madam Jayalalitha initially tried with anti-conversion law. People resisted. She immediately withdrawn the anti-conversion law and respected the sentiments of the people. And then she has taken up the renovation of the temples, conducted the pujas in several the temples, appointed the archikas, annadanams in several temples. Thereby, she has really helped the Hinduism to come up. And that kind of the actions may be done even at the higher level if those who want to really do the service for the Hinduism. Then the issue came up, the beef eating. For centuries, they eat their own choice. Ours is a secular and democratic country. No government, however, the majority it has, presuming that it has 545 the entire MP seats, but I don't think that it has the right to tinker with the constitution basic structure. And in fact, one could be appreciated. The Honorable Minister for State Home Affairs, Rizuji, said that I have every right to eat beef, and he challenged it if anybody could stop him. That means eating is personal choice. And what happened of the lynching at Dadri and Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir, where all the three are the minorities, and nobody at the helm of the affairs could condemn that. At least in one incident, and Dadri, it clearly established that a BJP functionary was behind it. It is not my view. And what all we want is that India all along has been like this. Why? For example, the BJP, the present BJP has to take a golden leaf from the past BJP government, where Vajpayee has said that against the Gujarat riots. He said that it's a blot on the democracy, where the Prime Minister, where the party is also the BJP, and what happened there also the BJP in Gujarat. You could say that. We want that kind of the people here, so that the entire committee of the nations will admire India. I'm not talking of the politics here. Why can't we pick up a golden leaf from the book of Vajpayee's life? And killing of the rationalists, Kalbugi, Davolkar, Govind Pansari, is such an unfortunate and highly condemnable. Again here, what I have seen in the newspapers with authenticity, for people like us, we will not be talking politics here. The Bajrang Dal people are behind all the three, where the fourth one also pointed, other rationalist, the fourth rationalist, if he doesn't mend the way, he will also met with the same way where all the three have been killed. And if that being the case, perhaps right, we don't deny it. Then why is this kind of things we are permitting? Why don't you say against that? That's all I want to say that. And award Wapsi. And people in a democratic country, people have different ways of expressing their anguish. Because we have a lot of freedom. All along we have been enjoying it. Not that anybody has given the freedom, because it is enshrined in the Constitution. Unprecedented. More than 45 Sahitya Akademi Awards, Padma Shri awardees have returned their awards. Instead of humiliating them by saying that those people are trying to pay their old patronage, because after all they got their awards with much hard work. Just as we work for politics for lifelong, the writers also have dedicated their life to entertain the people and create awareness. So instead of burying that, the 50 people have retained their awards and still criticizing them is very unfortunate. And when people like a Nobel Prize award winner Amartya Sen said that it's very unfortunate to live in a place like this, because the past India was extremely peaceful and tolerant, and presently it's becoming intolerant. He has no politics. And what all we need is an eye-opener. The people have given a wonderful verdict, and you have a lot of things to do, like development and other things, instead of getting into these smaller kinds of things. And again, the political intolerance, the statements the several MPs and the ministers are making, which are not required, and it's not a healthy trend in a democratic country, that could be avoided. By making such kind of statements, in fact, deliberately, some of the people at the helm of the affairs are trying to wake up these sleeping rivals. So that could have been avoided by the people at the top, telling that, for example, I can again mention that the Congress Vice President doesn't do his homework, and there is no sign of revival of the Congress, or the left party is losing its relevance. All kinds of this political intolerance. If really that happens, all the more happy you could continue for more years. So that kind of hurting the sentiments of other political parties could be avoided. And now a good trend has taken place after 18 months and controversies like Garu Wapsi and so many other things. Now the Honorable Prime Minister has chosen to invite the important opposition leaders. It's a very good trend. Now it has been realized that instead of the majority rule, the broader consensus is advisable. That's a very good trend, and I hope that the rest of the term, the government will continue that way. Then we will have the very smooth running of the parliament, and thereby the parliament could really contribute for the country's development, where really pending issues are there, like the poverty eradication. And we have promised several ways, several things. The houses for all. And I see that in last 18 months, I don't see, at least in my constituency, not even a single house being constructed. So is it this the kind of the development that we look up to? And I was one of the persons very strongly believe that the BJP is one of the disciplined party, and they may live up to the expectations as it was in the past. In the future also they can live up to the expectations, and the people would be deciding. And recently, the Pakistan poet Fahmida Ria stated that तुम बिल्कुल हम जैसे निकले, you turned out to be just like us. That means he is speaking from the soil of the Pakistan. He is criticizing about she. I'm maybe sorry. So thank you. I'm sorry. I'm not aware of that. She has spoken from the Pakistan soil and had the guts to say that. That means they were all holding India very high, in a very high esteem. After seeing that 18 months incidents, she could say that you turned out to be just like us. That's a really eye-opener for us. Let's not give that kind of impression to the rest of the world. And government, the earlier speakers were telling that what is happening in the state is a state subject law and order and all that. That argument many of us can't buy for the simple reason the central government all said and is mighty. It has the IAS officers at every state. And presently the people are highly aware, even if the BJP to some extent may not be very big presence in Andhra Pradesh, but still BJP at the center gives a voice at the lower level. So therefore, to make it a very pleasant democracy, more secular country, the government could say that, advise their party leaders, party functionaries, the ministers not to give any provocative statements. Particularly, when a person like Honorable Minister Mr. V.K. Singh, who held a very high esteemed post of the Chief of Indian Army, and is giving such kind of comments every now and then, insulting the human beings, comparing the human beings with the dogs is extremely unfortunate. Perhaps you should check up. If people like us will not talk the politics here. So we are not talking any politics here. It's very unfortunate. And comparing some of the human beings as the dogs is extremely unfortunate. That kind of statements could be avoided. So therefore, the people have given the verdict only to rule within the ambit of the Constitution, not beyond that. So with these words, I thank the chair for giving me the opportunity and also my party for giving me the opportunity.